Hello, welcome to the December 2015 edition of CGov's The Parish Line. We cover the events, programs, and policies of the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. On this month's program, we'll take a look at the upcoming I-210 Bridge project and how it will affect public safety, look at the annual Toys for Tots campaign, and discuss the flooding issue in Calcasieu Parish. First, the police jury began a new holiday tradition earlier this month. Brandon Myers tells us about the inaugural Christmas at the Courthouse.
The Calcasieu Parish Police Jury is spreading a little extra Christmas cheer this year with the inaugural Christmas at the Courthouse, a special event in honor of the late juror James Mayo.
This year's inaugural ceremony is to honor the late police juror James Mayo's vision and celebrate his life and service to the citizens of Calcasieu Parish. He envisioned the beautiful historic courthouse lit up for the holidays, and the entire police jury is proud to be able to present a beautiful lighting display for the citizens of Calcasieu Parish in James Mayo's honor.
Christmas at the Courthouse was a true family event with performances by the Barb Show Choir, the John F. Kennedy Elementary Choir, as well as appearances by a few special guests.
You know, as many people know, it was kind of the vision of our late James Mayo. It was really his wish to finally light up the courthouse and decorate it for Christmas, and so here we are. We're finally going to do that today. We'll have Santa and Mrs. Claus here to take pictures with the children. We'll also have elves here to take pictures. We'll have a couple special guests also running around. We've decorated the courthouse. Of course, we have the steps here flanked with 2 Christmas trees. You know, every day you come by here, especially on the weekends, you always find people down here taking pictures in front of this historic structure. And so we thought it would be really nice to decorate it so that people can come take their holiday pictures here as well.
Kelly feels that this event is a great way to honor Mr. Mayo and is excited to watch it grow in the coming years.
When James first started on the jury, he started talking about it, you know, and he worked with the city, and he was involved with the Christmas lighting there at the Civic Center, and he would often talk about, you know, why didn't we do this, and you know, what do we need to do, and so, you know, we just felt it would be a great way to honor him and his memory and his passion to go ahead and start this year in his memory, and we hope to build on it each year and watch it evolve into something special.
For the Parish Line, I'm Brandon Myers.
This new tradition in honor of Mr. Mayo was extremely well received by the public and will be a new annual event. The decorations will remain up throughout the holiday season. The police jury conducts periodic evaluations of the parish's hazard mitigation plan in order to assess changing risks. Molly Morgan has the story.
Calcasieu Parish is required to have a hazard mitigation plan in place in case of a disaster. But who requires it and why? Emergency Planner Cade McLemore has the details.
Section 322 of the Disaster Mitigation Act states that both state and local governments must have a multi-hazard mitigation plan as a precondition for receiving FEMA mitigation project grants. So basically, you cannot receive any funding from FEMA post-disaster unless you have a hazard mitigation plan that is both adopted and approved by FEMA. The hazard mitigation plan that we have here at Calcasieu Parish is basically set forth to accomplish community objectives. For one, leveraging capital improvements, economic resiliency, and protecting infrastructure. We want to minimize operational downtime and accelerate the recovery of both government and private entity after an event. We come up with you know, different projects that we would like to see happen. For instance, there is a building that is used for the political governing authority, like this building we're in. We would want to do storm hardening on that building because we'd be operating out of that building before or after an event were to happen, let's say a high wind event or a tropical storm. So we would use some of the grant monies to do wind hardening of the building, you know, replace the windows with stronger glass, storm drainage around the building so that there's no flooding, things of that nature. We have one hazard mitigation plan for the parish, and that encompasses all 7 jurisdictions. First, we have unincorporated Calcasieu. We have our 4 cities, Lake Charles, Sulphur, Westlake, and DeQuincy, and our 2 towns, Ioway and Vinton.
McLemore talks about why the plan must remain relevant.
You have your plan from 2010 and the plan we're doing now. The differences are relevancy. It's kind of like a antivirus software for your computer. The antivirus software you had 5 years ago is not going to work for your computer today. It's the same concept. Some of the hazards that are identified on the hazard mitigation plan, drought, tropical cyclones, tornadoes, winter storms, and excessive heat. Those are just a few. The way we do hazard identification has to do with locations affected, the strength of the hazard, any historical data of that hazard, and any probability of it happening in the future. Using flooding as our hazard for this example, we would first evaluate vulnerable assets. So using something like GIS mapping software, we would look for low-lying areas, any assets that are next to rivers that would be affected during the flood stage. We describe potential impacts of these areas. After that, we'd estimate losses for each hazard. That's where our methodology comes into play. We have our exposure risk analysis, scenario analysis, and historical analysis. Of the 3, the most important is historical analysis. We look at the frequency, the strength, every detail of previous hazards. And this helps the community understand the greatest risks facing their areas.
Every 5 years the plan is updated, but should a disaster occur within that time frame, then the plan would need to have a new update. For the Parish Line, I'm Molly Morgan.
The overall mission of the Hazard Mitigation Plan is public safety and preventing the loss of life. In a related story, the police jury is always striving to improve drainage issues in Southwest Louisiana. With the recent surge in development in many parts of the parish, residents are experiencing flooding issues in locations that were previously safe. Dr. David Kestel is one of those residents.
First of all, I built this office about 30 years ago with the intention of being 2 feet above the 100-year floodplain. I forget what year it was, 1980 something. We had 20 inches of rain, or 22 inches of rain in 24 hours. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that's a tremendous amount of rain. Well, before I built this office, I asked the lady that lived next door over here, how far did the water come up in this property? And she said it went to the top of this brick wall over there. So I told my contractor to build my office. I want the bottom of the floor 2 feet above that wall. He said, well, why? I said, because there's a bayou here and there's a bayou there, and we got that 22 inches of rain, which is a tremendous amount of rain. And I figured something's going to happen before it's all said and done. Well, something has happened since it's all said and done. When I built this office, there was not a Sam's warehouse, there wasn't a Target center, there wasn't casinos, there wasn't all these motels and hotels that have been going up on here. During Hurricane Ike, this office flooded. And I'm supposedly 2 feet above the 100-year floodplain. Well, not anymore. Well, it put me out of business for several months because I had to rebuild this building. You would not believe this place. It looked like a bomb went off in here because the water just destroyed everything.
Because of stories like this, the police jury is taking a fresh look at how we manage drainage and stormwater runoff. If you have a similar story, we'd like to hear it. Contact the Parish Communications and Media Department at the number on your screen to tell your story. The police jury is currently meeting with stakeholders to determine a new set of development guidelines to address the issue. A series of public meetings is set for January. A major renovation project on the I-210 bridge is scheduled for the spring of 2016. And it may cause severe traffic issues. The Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness is working on plans to address any public safety issues that may result, including the possibility of an accident on the bridge with limited access for emergency vehicles.
The public safety groups have been meeting about the 210 construction project and about the consequences of that construction. What a lot of people don't think about is we've got 8 lanes of interstate available to us on a daily basis here. We've got 4 lanes eastbound and 4 lanes westbound. When I-210 construction starts, that's going to eliminate 2 of those, 1 lane in each direction. The I-210 will become a 2-way road, and so we expect a lot of traffic congestion. We're working on mutual aid agreements with these agencies. A lot of those are already in place, but the difficulty is going to be that with two-way traffic being present, we're going to have to empty out one of those lanes to get emergency vehicles up there, and that's going to take some time. We haven't had to deal with this before, and so we're working on plans right now on how we're going to deal with that. Potentially the traffic that's stuck in the lane where the accident occurs could be asked to back down the bridge. We won't be able to get a conventional emergency vehicle up there, particularly fire trucks and ambulances, because we're going to have two 11-foot travel lanes and there won't be any place for them to turn around. So what we'd have to do is shut one of the lanes down to empty it out, probably have the emergency vehicle come up the wrong way and then transport them out whichever way they're facing. There's going to be a couple of police officers standing by in the construction area to try to get people to slow down. It'll most likely be a 45-mile speed limit, but DOTD has already told us to expect traffic delays on a daily basis with no accidents. So you can expect westbound, for example, on 210 will be backed up, maybe to Nelson Road or somewhere in that vicinity. And on the other side of the bridge, the traffic probably will be backed up all the way to I-10. If we have an accident, then that stacks traffic up even further. Probably most of the traffic, both directions on 210 would come to a complete halt, and we'd have to divert that traffic over to I-10 bridge.
With traffic delays expected daily and the potential for major traffic issues in the event of an accident, residents are urged to stay informed.
One of the things it's going to mean for the average citizen on a daily basis is you need to start planning your trips out. If you work on one side of the bridge or the other, you're going to have to allow extra time. There are going to be daily traffic delays, and that'll probably start 4 or 5 in the morning, and it'll go through probably 6 to 7 in the evening every day, except maybe the weekends might be a little lighter, but time will tell on that. Also, we're going to be putting out some traffic advisories and some helpful hints that people may do. One of the things we'd like them to do is sign up with our CalcaShout program. We'll be, at some point, we'll be starting to do traffic reports on that. Those reports will be posted to our Facebook and Twitter accounts, and hopefully, we're looking at some other social media as well. But the big thing that an average citizen can do on this is arm themselves with information. And they're going to have to pay attention to the daily traffic routines and find out how they fit into that and make sure that they understand that there will be these delays.
The bridge project is expected to take nearly 2 years to complete, with the bridge restricted to 2 lanes for about 18 months. You are watching The Parish Line, a production of CGov, the Calcasieu Parish Government Channel. It's that time of year again when everyone comes together to help bring the excitement of Christmas to children in our area. Margaret Higgins tells us about the annual Toys for Tots campaign.
Calcasieu Parish Police Jury, along with other organizations and companies, are working with the Toys for Tots Foundation to help make Christmas brighter for children who are less fortunate. United States Marine Sergeants William Huffman and Matthew Goings talks about their role in the Toys for Tots program.
The Marine Corps Toys for Tots program is ran by the Marine Corps Reserve. It's a program that allows families that are in need to come and pick up toys during the holiday season. Throughout the entire year, we collect toys and monetary donations, and it allows us to purchase the things that the families are needing and the things that families are wanting for the young children in the area today.
We're basically just here trying to collect toys for families and young children in the local community.
Health Initiatives and Strategic Partnerships Director Angela Jewett tells us about the partnership between the police jury and the Marine Corps.
The Calcasieu Parish Police Jury has a relationship with the Marines. We've been working with them quite a few years. It's a partnership between our agencies. We go out and help them collect the information of the children that are actually eligible to get the toys, and then we help them through the picking up, the distribution, and working hand in hand with them to get this program going.
Jewett informs the public on what to expect during the distribution.
People that have already been accepted and qualified for the toys will come in on the 21st to the Lake Charles Civic Center. Parents, don't forget, your children cannot go in with you. We'll have a volunteer who will walk your kids through and let them pick their toys.
Residents are reminded that the sign-up period for the Toys for Tots program is now over. Distribution of the toys will be on December 21st from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Lake Charles Civic Center. For more information on the Toys for Tots program or the toy distribution, call 656-0839 or 656-0840. For the Parish Line, I'm Margaret Higgins.
If you are interested in donating a toy, there's still time. You can drop off new unwrapped toys in the Toys for Tots boxes located at stores throughout Southwest Louisiana. That's our December edition of the Parish Line. Thanks for watching. If you need more information on any of these stories, visit our website at cppj.net.